you'd see that this is exactly the kind of thing that's likely to happen to me. Getting knocked up, I mean. The point is, it was my first time. I was a virgin before that. And wouldn't you know it, I'd get caught? Aside from everything else, I'm not lucky either. See, if I was lucky, Harold and I could have succumbed to our silly little passion, and that would have been that, the end of it. And New Rochelle, of all places, at least if it had been in some nice apartment, say in the village, with the sound coming through the window of traffic and people, the breeze blowing the curtain over the bed like in the movies. But no, I lost my virginity in an old house in New Rochelle. Harold's grandmother's house. On the floor of the attic in his grandmother's house, listening to the rain on the roof and breathing the dust of old things. And what comes next but his grandmother, who was supposed to be out in the city for the day, and instead she's suddenly standing there screaming, stop it, that... Needless to say, it was out of the question stopping at that particular instant. Sex is like a flight over the sea. One reaches the point of no return.
Okay, Hannah, this is really great. Something I think that we can add to this, this just occurred to me, because she realizes she's talking to the stranger. So maybe you tell this part of the story, okay, and then it's like, okay, that's it. And not only that, you know, I think that's just going to break it up and make it a little bit more interesting. You know, don't just assume that you've got a captive audience
that's
here.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Go back
and what comes next? But his grandmother, who was supposed to be in the city for the day. But instead, she's suddenly standing there screaming, stop that this instant. Needless to say, it was out of the question, stopping at that particular instant. I mean, sex is like a flight over the sea. One reaches the point of no return. I guess it sounds pretty funny now, but you know, at the time it was pretty rotten. Sordid. I mean, it wasn't at all the way it was supposed to be. And Harold, of all people, a girl finds herself in this predicament, this condition. She'd at least like to think the cause of it was some nice, clever, handsome guy with charm and experience, just returned from spending a year in Rome, say, on a Guggenheim Fellowship. But Harold. Harold is 6'2", about 125 pounds tops, and an economics major at CCNY. That's about the best I'll ever be able to do, I know it! Ever since I found out I was pregnant, I've been going around with a face down to here, and my mom kept saying, what's the matter with you anyway? I just don't know what's gotten into you lately. So finally I told her. A kid named Harold, as a matter of fact.